Hello again. Sanitary pipe and fixture units and some quirky stuff. When I work with plumbing engineers, I find it's a bit of a point of contention when they try to connect all this piping together and ultimately run venting the way they want to do it, and find that fixture units don't propagate the way they expect them to. So what I'm talking about here, for anyone who isn't a plumbing engineer, when I have a toilet fixture and I look at its type properties in this case, most of these families have a parameter set up, and the Autodesk stuff has a WFU, stands for waste fixture units, and then hot water fixture units and cold water. And these numbers are used to codify, meet code and or demonstrate and decide and figure out how to size pipe. So when I have a fixture unit of 4 here, when I touch a pipe behind it, it says in the properties of the pipe that I have a fixture unit value of 4. So you can see it showing up there. And if I go to the next pipe downstream here, I can see that it says 4 again. As soon as I get down to this next one beyond there, I can see that it's adding up the next 4, which is coming out of this fixture, and so forth. When I get down to this one, I see 12, and when I get down to this last one in this little stack, it says 12 there. Now, when I go to the vent pipe, it's not showing any at all, which makes sense. Now, the problem you'll find is that if I go to another file here for a moment and take a look at this scheme, there's no interruption in this vent pipe. So what happens is I can see fixture units for that pipe, but as soon as I leave that system and heads downstream, there's no fixture units propagating. So there's fixture units in this pipe, there's fixture units in this pipe, but there's no fixture units after that. So I don't get a total, and I can't see how large this pipe ought to be based on the required fixture units when it gets added all up here. So what's happening is that the flow is coming down this pipe this way, but ultimately at this Y connection, or T, it's possible to go up this way and then ultimately back into the system, which creates a loop at each of these locations. And that fundamentally breaks the system, unfortunately. So in this example, what I've done is I ran these vent pipes up, these risers up, and I put a cap family there, just a regular cap. And then afterward, I ran some additional pipe, and I used a slightly higher elevation for the base of that pipe and an 8-foot elevation for the top of that pipe. So they don't really come into contact. Now I could, with the cap in place, I could bring it down to the same elevation, but I did find it was a little awkward, and it wasn't as obvious as it was there. Now, in a 3D riser elevation, somebody might object to seeing that stuff, so you could make those two guys coincident, have the same elevation, and then hide the cap, I suppose. The other thing to keep in mind is you might not get all hung up about this, and you might, oh, that's not good. My graphics is going haywire, so I'm going to run out of time here. But if I look at the sanitary system here and look at the building sewer, I can see how this stuff starts to stack up, and if I add the fixture units column here, I can see the fixture units summary there. So it's not like you're operating blind, but unfortunately my video graphics are going to cut me off here. You can still see this information if you connect them to systems and organize yourself that way. So it's not the end of the road. Anyway, hope this helps.